Good morning, this is Mike Houston with your Friday morning weather hazard briefing for southeast Idaho. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we see a high-pressure ridge developing along the northwest coast with relatively dry conditions working south out of Canada into southeast Idaho. Looking further upstream, we see a low-pressure system making its way into the Gulf of Alaska, which we'll have to deal with here, probably 5 to 6 days out. Looking at the forecast high temperature for today, looking like we're going to see highs generally in the mid to upper 60s here in the Snake River Plain and upper 50s to lower 60s in the Central Mountains and Southeast Highlands. That ridge holds firm through the day today as we look at our forecast charts. Maybe a little thunderstorm activity here east of the divide, but staying relatively dry here in southeast Idaho through the day today. We see that ridge continues to dominate through the day on Saturday. And as we work our way into Sunday, the ridge begins to flatten out and we begin to see some isolated thunderstorm activity beginning to pop up here across the Central Mountains, mainly along the Montana border here over towards Yellowstone National Park. Advancing to Monday, we continue to see some weak disturbances coming in over the top of that ridge and allowing some thunderstorm activity in the afternoon hours here on Monday afternoon. And once we get to Tuesday, it's not hard to see that low pressure system now working its way in towards the coast. Starting to see a big swath of precipitation reaching the Washington and Oregon coast, and we continue to see some isolated shower activity here across the central and northern mountains of southeast Idaho on Tuesday afternoon. We should peak with our temperatures here on Tuesday and Wednesday, looking at highs generally running in the upper 70s to lower 80s here in the Snake River Plain, and generally in the upper 60s to lower 70s in the Central Mountains and Southeast Highlands. That low pressure system will begin to make its way into the coast. We are getting to see some different signals here. This is Wednesday. With the general progression of this trough and this particular model, as this low pressure system works inland, it'll weaken. One of the other ones holds together fairly well, brings us some precipitation as we work our way into the weekend. But here we are again looking at Wednesday afternoon in southwest flow, so we'll start to see some increasing winds across the region and ongoing isolated scattered thunder shower activity in the afternoon hours. With the warmer temperatures and moving into the region through the week, we do expect to see some changes in our rivers. So starting off with the river observations this morning, we continue to see bank full conditions here on the Big Wood near Haley, and still basically green, no flooding conditions across the rest of southeast Idaho. But we throw some of those warmer temperatures into the mix, and we drag the forecast out through about 8 days. We begin to see some of our forecast points beginning to reach minor flood stage. So certainly expecting to see the Big Wood climb up into minor flood stage, and then the big lost here at Howell River Ranch above Mackey Reservoir should probably begin to shed quite a bit of snow off the higher elevations and reach minor flood stage as well. That's all I had for you here this morning. If you had any questions or comments, please give us a call here at the number on the screen. Thank you.